My fellow Cameroonians, let me take this opportunity to address our soldiers, our security officers, the police and the gendarmes in Cameroon and the others. First, I must thank you for the job that you do. I remember when I was going to medical school, there were some people I knew who had not done uh, high school or they couldn't pass their O levels, and and there was this little recruiting to uh, the military or so, since they had made it look as if it was the riffraffs or the nobodies or people who couldn't pass exams who went to be soldiers, or that little V that they put in the police or whatever they call it. And some of them who have had their O levels or their advanced or whatever, they were like, whatever is there, I need to do something. I need to feed my family. I'm not going to just be out there. And I am one of those who encourage them that, irrespective of the fact that they could not make all their papers in high school like I did in Sacred High School in Mancon, that didn't mean that they couldn't contribute. That didn't mean that they couldn't do something. And if there was some positions or some recruitment that was taking people O levels or advanced level, whatever it is, even it was just to become, just whatever, a soldier or whatever, you know. And I am so happy a lot of them went in. Uh, I can imagine the training that and the challenges they had to put up with, but they did. And they started with a little pay and began to struggle to rise up from here and there. And so I must congratulate you. And you, the soldiers of Cameroon, you, the police officers, the gendarmes, your pays are some of the worst in the world. Worse compared to other African countries, but it could be better. It could be better. And ask yourself, why is it not better? Why? It is not better because the country has not developed, has not added value to its resources. The country has a lot of resources. You, the soldiers, you, the police officers, the gendarmes, your resources of Cameroon. But you know what operates in the barracks and every other thing? They are just the fact that you are taught, to respect hierarchy and order and your seniors. But you know that I'm saying the truth. I've worked with USA, the Association of United States Army. And every time I'm in Washington, D.C., I'm working with them, and I just feel like something is wrong in Cameroon. Some of you have been taken to other places, if not because of the deployment by maybe the UN or whatever, and so you came back with little things here and there. There's a lot of bribery and corruption, even within the police force and the gendarmes. Some say because they are not well paid. And so all of that corruption and everything, some people are now taking advantage of it. It is unheard of. It is unheard of that you police officers, you gendarmes, and you soldiers, no matter how mediocre or how good you are, you connive. I repeat, you connive with Elekam people. Now, let me tell you something about Elekam. Elekam is actually the making of Paul Biya. That is why the people who are appointed there are his people. And those people also appoint his people to man divisional offices and others. And so they are intentionally done, and as they work with deals and SDOs, a lot of them are strategically placed. They are transferred here and there in those places where they may need to rig elections. A lot of them are given certain. Now, you've been told that deals and some maybe that we're giving cars, SUVs, new ones, right? just around the time of the elections. Ask yourself why. Because they are involved in the collation of, they are supposed to guard the police stations, they are supposed to work with elecam authorities, just like we do here in the United States. There is a distance that is supposed to be manned by forces of law and order security. If you don't have any business around there, you're not supposed to be there. So if that operates, you see that these people have a part to play. Now, if you got people who are ready to work to rig the election, for somebody who has been in government for close to 65 years, Paul Biya started his careers in the 60s, right? He's been minister here, he's been minister there, prime minister there, then president for 42 years. Now, let me ask you a question. Those of you who are in those things, soldiers and police officers, you know the exercises that you do and everything. Who in their right minds will consider Paul Biya to be a leader, even of your village, even of your little regime? The last time he came here to the world, to the USA, I was so embarrassed with the videos and images of him. He embarrassed even you people who were guarding him. He was fighting all over the place, confused, and they were trying to like a Senate imbecile. Come on. You saw the videos everywhere. Those things were not makeup. Those things were not AI. You never see him at the United Nations because of the embarrassment. Nobody sit down to listen to him. Where do you see him? In the last 7 years, with everything going on, where have you seen Paul Biya? Disasters in the West, all types of things. So you are now troubled about these people in the West who are trying to protect their votes. And so they are in their ancestral lands and they are ready to fight anybody who wants to steal their votes. First of all, ask yourself, why do they do elections when they are not going to respect the outcome? Why? Who does that? If not satanic, demonic animals. Those things are only done as we have been told in mysterious secrets of the dark kingdom, only in occultic, demonic institutions and societies. And so I am speaking to you because we are seeing the things that you, the excited ones, are doing, especially you, the Bulu Beti were the ones. They have moved you to other people's ancestral lands, and you are working with those same evil, satanic so-called deals and SDOs. And according to you, those people who own their lands are nothing. So you own it. Because now, the first thing I will tell you is that one of the weakest person I've ever known, even though he's a thief, a killer, a looter, is Paul Biya. If Paul Biya was a man, because he's still president of Cameroon, right? With all of this happening, you expect the president to come out and speak and address the people and the nation and tell them to be calm and wait for the election results. He's in doing that because he is walking behind with these same people. How can he come in and talk to the people when he is the thief behind, rigging the elections? He cannot win elections. We know how the party works. I have been one of the leaders of the CPDM. I know how it works. When people win elections, then they start working to steal the elections. I've had to. You must have read papers where they wrote, Paul Biya orders Dr. Ntuba stops. So we've had situations like that in our constituency and all of that. I know there is rigging. You've heard Donald Trump complain about there is rigging all over the world, but it is the rate. When you rig in a way that the people are confused, what is published at the polling station is quite different from what actually is presented by Elekam. Something is wrong. That's the work of a dead person. Elekam, dead person. So why are you protecting dead people? Why are you protecting dead people? And then you are protecting them over the living. You're protecting them over those who want alternates so that good people can come in with their own manifesto of how to improve the country, give you better living and work conditions, and you become better security officers, uplift your standards and status as soldiers. You don't want that. You are excited. You are excited. That's all I can say for now. Because I see the way you take a woman, you beat her on the ground, pull her clothes, everything, her breasts, and everything is out. You are involved in these satanic human rights abuses. Because of a dead man. The presidency of Cameroon, the taxpayers' presidency, has been turned to a hospice. And so all they do is use the plane, use all of this to keep Paul Biya alive. But the world knows what is going on in Cameroon. I am not begging you to stop. I am just telling you that we are now ready to work with the International Criminal Court and other countries to make sure that the documented abuses from you people will lead to international warrant of arrest, starting with Paul Biya to that thief, an ex-convict called Atangaji. Cameroon knows his history in Ntuba and his phasing and famemanship around the world. And of course, only thieves bring thieves around themselves. Unfortunately, it looks like the Tertra administration has been run before. Momo Joya had what degree when he was Minister of Tertra administration? Who was he? So don't be surprised how an ex-convict criminal thief called Atangaji could find himself there. That happens only with a person